Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr in a very echoey room, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. Listen to that fucking echo. It might as well be at Capitol Records. Volare, whoa, something, something, whoa. I want to touch your titties, but it's 1958, and I am a fucking Irish guy in an Italian neighborhood. Sorry. Then all of a sudden there's a fight, right? And everybody starts snapping their fingers, right? And knives come out and shit. Then I accidentally kill, the brother of the Italian girl I want to bang, but then for some reason later on in the musical, she still hooks up with me, even though she knows I killed her brother. When it ba-doo-doo. Is that West Side Story music? That's fucking James Bond. All right, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I just had a double espresso and a flat white. Flat white like my ash. And I'm feeling pretty good about myself right now, For those of you out there who tried cocaine and just can't handle it, and you get too fucking addicted, like caffeine's, it's kind of a nice substitute. If you fucking do two back to back, it makes you feel like you know shit. You just have an overall good feeling before you sort of climax with the jolt of caffeine, and then you start sliding down the back of the mountain, like a football season. Like, dude, I think we can make the playoffs. Then all of a sudden, they've lost 3 in a row. Are they packing it in? Are they gonna fold up the fucking tents? The fuck did I want to talk to you guys about? Oh, I know. I like when people say I'm done playing games. They make all their fucking point, and then they I'm done playing games. All right, but up until like yesterday, you were okay with playing games? Yesterday was fun. But today I am not in a playful mood. I am done playing games. You know what that comes from, right? That's from having a woman in your life and they're mind fucking you. Or, even worse, you expect a woman to play mind games with you. What's she gonna do? Fucking suplex you? She can't do it. You know what I mean? Her hips and thighs are made for carrying children, not for fucking picking up her mate and fucking... Imagine if God did make them like that and they were like those fucking spiders, like the Black Widows. And the second you busted a nut in them, that you just felt that forearm go under your neck, and next thing you know, you're just completely upside down, and then they just suplex you down onto the hardwood floors. You're coming to work all fucked up. Oh, Billy got laid last night. Oh, then guys would be afraid to knock up their women. They'd keep pulling out. Listen, I can't, look, we got 2 kids. I can't handle another fucking, DDT, or whatever the fuck it was called. Another fucking Polish hammer to my chest. I've seen a lot of people out here, 1 Polish hammer to the chest, that would be it. Either that or it would fucking knock all that steak and cheese fucking grease right out of them. Anyway, I went to the Red Sox on Monday night. Took my daughter. Once a year we go to a game. We had a great time. And the first time I took her, she lasted 3 innings. She's a little kid. This time she lasted 5 innings. And, what sucked was it was kind of raining out, because I like taking the train to give her the whole experience. You know what I mean? And getting off at Kenmore Square and walking up with the crowd, and you hear all the chatter and all of that. People selling stuff, But I just kept picturing like it's gonna, because it was raining like it's crazy weather that day, and like tornado warnings and stuff down by Barnstable. I'm not saying it was down that way. I just love that fucking Boston name, Barnstable. I'm going to help you guys with the Boston accent. All right. A lot of people, like I've seen, like they'll try to say the word like shorts in a Boston accent, and they'll say shots. That's not how it's shorts. Just say shore, like the fucking seashore, shore. All right? You just don't pronounce it shorts. Dude, put on some fucking shorts. It's like a fucking 100 degrees out. You kidding me? I golfed the other day. And, I don't give a fuck about that activity, but I got to be honest with you. I had this guy in the foursome gave me a couple of tips. And on one hole, I had the best drive of everyone there, And that was something, I keep thinking about that. I'm like, don't think about that. Don't think about that, because next thing you know, you're going to be another douchebag with a set of golf clubs. You know what really fucking freaked me out? This place where I used to work a long time ago. I used to work at Cumberland Farms, the main place. And I drove by there the other day, and it's completely gone. They knocked down the whole factory. I don't know if 7-Eleven bought them out, but they knocked down the whole factory. And one side they did like all the dairy. It always smelled fucking gross over there. And then the side I was on was more like, it had all like the paperwork for all the dairy and all whatever the fuck they were doing on the other side. And the thing is completely knocked down. And now they have one of those top tier or top flight, those stupid ass fucking golf things. They're fucking huge. And what kills me, there's a driving range right down the street. Bring a little Bose speaker and a fucking cooler, and you have the exact same experience. Dude, the fucking amount of raw materials. You should see this fucking thing. There's a net going around it. I swear to God, you could cover a football stadium with it. Michael Moore's going to do a documentary about the 3 kids that they made sew that fucking thing together. And then when it comes out, the top tier, top flight guys, whatever the fuck it's called, are going to be like, well, if we don't have 3 4-year-olds sew that thing together for the first fucking 9 years of their life, I know the math doesn't work out, but just roll with this, then it's going to cost you $9,000 to golf. It's like, or you could pay your workers and you could take less of a salary, or you could not give yourself a bonus. How the fuck did they get away with that? That fucking shit blows my mind. That they just give themselves bonuses. They're just stealing from the profits. It's literally casino, the skim. And it's totally legal. That's what somebody told me that a long time ago. Said basically all the scams that the mafia was doing, corporations do now in a legal way, and they're way more greedy. Like any old dealer I ever met said it was better in Vegas when the mob ran it. They just can't make enough. All right, Bill, we get it, I'll tell you, capitalism is great for the first 100 years. That's the sweet spot, It's like a band. Any band you love, you listen to them long enough, at some point, it just passes them by. Or a comedian, like, look at me. All right? I'm 55 years old. I'm up there. Like, I'll give you a classic example how life has passed me by. I posted that video, if you listened on Monday, of the biplane ride that I took down on Martha's Vineyard. And I when I was filming it, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I know exactly what I want to do. I want to do a tribute to the AC/DC, that live concert they had right before Bon Scott unfortunately passed away. The Let There Be Rock, which you guys have to see. It's one of the great concert films of all time. The band is just at the height of their powers with Bon Scott, and then they just rode that right into Brian Johnson and Back in Black, right? And anyway, there's a video when they play the song Walk All Over You. The bass player, Cliff Williams, is riding in a biplane, and the drummer, Phil Rudd, is on the ground driving the Scarface Porsche. And so I put that music underneath it. I even did the Cliff Williams wave to the pilot behind me. And I posted this thing. I knew hardcore AC/DC fans would get it. There was one person who got the video. And I was like, what the fuck? There was even like a music producer. I actually responded to him because he was just going like, the footage isn't cool enough. I got to put rockin' music underneath it. And I just literally wrote, as a music producer, you should know what this is a reference to. I tried to shame him. And then I was thinking later, I'm like, well, Bill, this is like a concert footage from 44 fucking years ago, you idiot. Jimmy Carter was in office. Jimmy Carter. So I had to actually post the video that I was talking about. And when I did the Cliff Williams wave, I didn't get the pilot behind me. So some people thought I was flying the fucking plane. The whole thing was a disaster. It was just one big flop. And there was like one guy in the text thread that got it. And the other guy that got it was Dean Del Rey. So I think I aged out of pop culture, in about 1989. Which is sad. Anyway, I am trying to get into Europe shape, you know what I mean? But have a little bit of muscle mass, you know what I mean? But I am going to Eastern Europe, and those people are like next level strong, you know what I mean? From fucking fighting the Russians who are fucking strong. Those people over there, they got like that fucking, I don't know what's going on over there, but there's something in the water. And speaking of which, I watched two really good documentaries. I watched this one on Johnny Manziel. And that guy has lived such a life that at 29 years of age, he sounds like he's in his 50s, the way he's looking back on his life and things that he did and all of that. It's really, really fascinating. And then just also like his complete disregard for any rules, where he's just like, you guys are making all this money off of me? Fuck you, I'm gonna make some money. Then I'll give the money to my grandfather and he'll write me a check. He goes, because he's a fucking G. I'm like, I don't know if that's good grandpa behavior. I mean, he's got your back, but he probably should have been like, son, now what are you doing here? Let's not fuck this up. But anyway, it was really fascinating. And then I also felt like amazed. I was like, I saw him his sophomore year when they played Alabama in that stadium. It was the loudest stadium I'd ever been in. Kansas City Chiefs was close. But as far as college stadiums goes, the fucking fans at Texas A&M in the first half, because A&M had beaten Alabama in Tuscaloosa the year before, and they looked like they were going to do it again. And then, Nick Saban fucking put the Gary Payton glove on him in the second half, and that was fucking it. But that was the loudest fucking stadium I'd ever been in. So anyways, they were showing like highlights and all that. So I watched that documentary. And then also I watched this one, Conor McGregor. It's like McGregor Forever or something like that. I watched that one. And those things are just always... Anytime they're showing a fighter getting ready for a fight, a fucking... trying to make a comeback or all of that. It's fucking amazing. At one point, he like fucking thinks he breaks his toe, and the guy's like fucking pulling the thing out to make it better. It's just like they get the shit kicked out of them during camp, and then they have to go in and go fight somebody. It's really amazing. And then they actually show, fighters like dealing with defeat and all of that, which I think a lot of fight fans really need to watch, So they stop talking all of that shit on YouTube and have a little respect for both the winner and the loser, as like all of that work that you put in to fight 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it doesn't go your way, and then you're just sitting there going like, what the fuck? What do I do? Like the strength it takes to fucking go back and start all over again deserves a level of respect that just does not exist online in any shape or form. Everybody's like, hey, fuck that guy. I knew that guy was a fucking pussy. It's like, really? Would you walk into an arena fucking shirtless to go fight some world-class guy who could beat the fuck out of you? You know, I wouldn't even take my shirt off in the bleachers. I'd be too embarrassed. So, yeah, I did that. And then I've been reading this book that Brian Holtzman gave me, Killers of the Flower Moon. And I would like to address people that think conspiracy theory is bullshit. And it's like, they do this, they do that. Who is they? Who is it? It's like, what do you mean, who is they? Who is they? The same the same they every fucking year when they declassify files from 60 fucking years ago and you start to see what was really going on. Every year they declassify more shit. Now they're like into shit from like the 60s and 70s. The genius is they wait till everybody who did the shit is dead. And then they declassify it. It's like, oh, this is what was really happening. You know, and every year that happens. But for some people, but that was back then. It's not like, yes, right now too. Right now too. Right now too, they will declassify a bunch of shit when we're all dead about what the fuck they were really doing. You know, I saw this thing recently about recycling, how they haven't been doing it, and how like oil companies came up with recycling just because it would make people feel good to think that they were recycling even if they weren't. I mean, it's like diabolical shit, and they 100% get away with it, and then they go after like fucking sports broadcasters who say the wrong thing in the bottom of the third inning. All right, Bill, are you going to make this point every podcast? Probably. I have an echo. It makes me feel like I know what I'm doing here. Anyway, Billy Belliptical. I've been on the elliptical like every single fucking day of my little break here, and I'm seeing the results. I'll tell you though, what is really amazing about the human body is how you can be like fucking 15 pounds overweight and still look good in a t-shirt. And you're like, you know, and you lie to yourself. But what you really have to do is you have to take that t-shirt off and you have to sit on the floor and then look at yourself sideways and lean towards the fucking mirror. And then you'll realize, oh, I'm not even anywhere near in shape. A long time ago, Special K, this was not a special needs program. This was actually a cereal that claimed that you'd lose weight if you fucking ate it, which no one ever really proved, but... And they were like, can you pinch an inch? And it was like love handles. And like, I can pinch an inch any fucking where on my torso. Shoulder blade, man tits. I don't know what happened to me. So I'm just going to keep fucking going here. I'm going to keep working out and dropping weight right through the fucking Euro tour. Because I always make sure I'm in great shape when I go to Europe, because those fucking cunts, those fat cunts are always saying that we're fat cunts. So I have to go over there and make sure that I look good with a shirt on. I mean, the bottom line is when you're north of 50, unless you're cheating, you know, taking like, you know, those gorilla roids that a lot of people are there's a lot of fucking dudes out there taking that shit, you know, faces fucking changing. It's like making the bones in your face grow. What the fuck are you doing? Eat a salad. Do the work. Stop fucking cheating. Jesus, you look at these people that are on HGH that take too much of it. They look. What's that fucking thing? You know, the evolution of man, where you start off as an ape and then you fucking turn into a dude. They're going back. They're sliding down the backside. I'm waiting to drive by one of those fucking what do they call that that stupid fucking what's that dumb workout where you have to run down the street past people at a diner so everybody knows you're working out? CrossFit. You know, I'm waiting for one point like they open that garage door and they fucking all the people working out come running out on all fours like fucking chimps. You know, carrying, like, you ever see Dana Gould imitate a chimp fucking running around? It's fucking amazing. One of my favorite comedians of all time, by the way. That's what I'm picturing, that they're going to come running out. Just fucking hairy backs and everything, 8-packs and all of that. Anyway, I'm doing it I just want to look like a... I'd settle for the Keith Richards body, I want people to just look at me and be like, did he do heroin in his 20s and 30s? Because you know how those guys, they're skinny for life, right? They just have that fucking, I don't know what it is. But like there's something about doing smack in the early part of your life. Like you stay shredded like fucking Iggy Pop well into your 60s. It's just a theory. I don't know. Anyway, I found this amazing documentary called GI Junkies. And it was it's filmed in New York City, and it was about all of these Vietnam vets that came back to New York addicted to heroin and not getting help and all of this stuff. And the two things I noticed about that video was in the comments section, people were just talking about how shitty Vietnam vets were treated. And for some reason, they don't see that that the veterans today are still treated, they're treated better, but nowhere near with the level of respect and gratitude that they should be. None of those comments were there. And then the other thing was the fucking accents. The New York City accents, I feel like accents are going away because everybody is sort of exposed to the world, maybe with these devices that we have. But I really fucking miss that. Like a legitimate... I remember when I first moved to New York, there was a guy that used to do this. I used to live on the east side, the guy that ran the 6 train. Every once in a while I would get him. And he'd be like, next stop, Toity-Toyd Street. Toity-Toyd. And I was just like, that guy has lived here his entire life. I don't know what borough, but I know it's not Manhattan. And he probably takes his train to the end and gets off and probably still lives in his neighborhood. It was a fucking amazing... I used to just sit there with a smile on my face listening. He called 86th Street, 79th, what was it, 70, I still remember, 59th, 51st, 42nd, Toity-Toyd, 23rd Street. And it was like Union Square, then Astor Place or something like that. And then I'd get off and walk over to the cellar. And I used to love when I would get that guy. Or you get like a fucking old school cab driver that had like an accent. But check it out. It's called GI Junkies. And it was, what's amazing is in the end of it, it's like a bunch of Vietnam vets in a circle in a therapy thing. And they let them film it. And the Vietnam vets are trying to help this other Vietnam vet. And you just see how far therapy has come, and they're just like yelling at the dude. How does it make you feel though? You're not talking about your fucking feelings. They're like yelling at him. Like adding to like the trauma, but they didn't know any better back then. Oh fuck, is my phone gonna die? Oh jeez there. Let me see if I have any reads here for this week. But check that out, it's on YouTube. It's amazing. But like really listen to the accents. It's funny is the black dudes in there, a couple of them that they go, you understand? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like, did that morph into, you know what I'm saying? And then it morphed into, you heard? And then that morphed into, you feel me? I was talking about that to Club Soda Kenny. We were trying to like the evolution of that, like slang, like they could do it like with white dudes. Like, let me tell you something, C. Like, what did C become? I don't have the brain power to figure this out. Oh, here we go. Here's the Here's the fucking reads for the week. Oh, look who it is, everybody. Indochino. Looking sharp all wedding season long. Shouldn't be expensive. With a custom fitted suit from Indochino. That's my thing. I want to be fucking as skinny as Conor McGregor, but he's fucking shredded when he walks around in those suits. You'll create a priceless memory without costing a fortune. Customize every detail on your suit, shirt, dinner jacket, and more in a range of colors, from a traditional black or gray to burgundy or olive. I think I'd crush an olive suit. To a classic Hemsworth navy. Every suit is made to your exact measurements, and you can customize every detail. Create a suit that fits you and your style perfectly, with options for fabrics, lapel shape, custom monograms, statement linings, and more. They also have tuxedos starting at $5.79. Why rent when you could buy a custom tux you can rewear for years to come? Indochino offers custom fitted shirts, casual wear, and more. Get a superior wardrobe personalized to your style and taste without the luxury price tag. They're always adding new pieces and options so you can stay on trend and in style. Explore their relaxed yet refined approach to spring suits with their new spring fabrics. RSVP knowing you got the perfect look all wedding season long from Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use the promo code BURR, B-U-R-R, to get 10% off any purchase at $3.99 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com, promo code BURR. All right, that's the reads. All right, I did 27 minutes. My phone's going to... Oh, no, it isn't going to die. The fuck was I looking at? Oh, I can keep running my yap over here. Oh, jeez. Anyway, so... To reiterate, I was not flying the biplane. The reason why I put that music underneath it, it was a nod. It was a deep cut, but I thought there was enough AC/DC fans out there that went all the way back. So your homework this week is to watch GI Junkies. You don't have to do this. The Johnny Manziel documentary, the Conor McGregor documentary, and the AC/DC Let There Be Rock. You don't have to do any of that shit, but those are all, I give all of those 5 stars. All right? 5 freckled stars. Anyway, the Pats got a preseason game. You know what I like about the Pats this year? Nobody's talking about them. It's all Aaron Rodgers this, Josh fucking, what's his face? Hamilton? What the fuck's his name? Not Josh Hamilton. Josh, the fucking mountain of a man with the boy face. He's got the face of an 8-year-old boy from like a claymation thing, you know? He looks like Davy from Davy and Goliath if he did HGH. I'm not saying he does H. Josh Allen. Okay? And that's what's on my calendar the first fucking weekend is that Monday night game. I told you, I'm going to keep saying it. Aaron Rodgers brings the Jets back in New York City. Classic fourth quarter drive. You know, wins the game on the final play. All the Jets are like, yeah, we got our guy. All those off-track betting fucking losers that root for the Jets are all fucking excited. Their shoulders finally come back. Their head comes up a little bit. You know, and then Josh Allen meets him in the middle of the field and nods, says, good game, old man. I'll see you in November whenever they play him again. And then I think Buffalo wins that one. And I think it's going to be really entertaining. And I think they're going to beat the fuck out of each other. And then meanwhile, the fucking Dolphins are laying in the weeds. And then you got the Pats, right? Everybody disrespecting Bill Belichick. They're not talking about him at all. Oh, maybe we got some weapons for Mac Jones to throw to. Maybe we got a little more protection. I like our defense. You know what? I think the fact that we just have an offensive coordinator this season is going to pay some dividends. By the way, the right fielder, who's the right fielder for the Kansas City Royals? That kid played an amazing game. He ran down a Tristan Cassis fucking shot that I thought was going to go into the first row of the seats, and I thought that kid was too shallow. He ran it. He got on his horse, as they say, and just in stride, just reached up, caught it like it was a routine, and then his arm Somebody hit one into the gap, and I was like, oh my God, is that going to be a triple? Is that going to be a triple? This guy fucking got this ball, threw it over the cutoff man, no bounce, right to the second baseman. It arrived right as the runner did. The runner was standing up, but it was actually close. And he made a couple throws like that. It reminded me, Dwight Evans. Anytime you're in Fenway Park, you see a great throw. I mean, you got to be thinking Dwight Evans. Am I crazy? Anyway, so that's it. I got 2 big shows this weekend. I'm in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I am in Halifax, Canada. Oh, Canada, you're no better than we are. Get off your high horse. Evidently, black people invented hockey. Indians created fucking lacrosse. So all you did was make syrup. Sorry. All right. That's it. All right. That's the podcast. We will have a bonus half hour of a Thursday afternoon just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. Right after the amazing music picked out by Andrew Themlis. All right. That's it. Go fuck yourselves. Have a great weekend, you cunts. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 10th, 2015. How's it going? How are you? What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? It's Monday. Did you get through it? Are you listening to it on the way home or on the way there? I put it up earlier this week, or at least I tried to. I have my brand new, I switched internet carriers because I just wasn't getting any. It's taking me forever to upload these podcasts. And I'm all psyched now. So now I got this new fucking internet, right? It's such a racket. My old internet sucked in every room in the house. My new internet is unbelievable in the living room, and you can't get any connection anywhere else. Nowhere else will fucking let you on, and it's frustrating, but whatever. I uploaded my Thursday podcast. It uploaded in like 17 seconds, and it usually was taking me like a half hour to upload 30 fucking minutes. Just because where I live, there's it's a low signal, which evidently isn't a bad thing, because I just ran into this fucking lady, and she was telling me all this shit about fucking electromagnetic shit passing through your fucking head, and was telling me, turn off your router every night, give your body a chance to get rid of all of this shit, and who the fuck knows? I guess when she was trying to claim that when you sign that fucking Apple agreement, there's something that you never read. You just sign it. That there's something in there that basically says, if this laptop gives you ball cancer or fucking brain cancer with the phone, you can't sue us. And all of that type of shit, which is totally believable, because all they got to do is just push that through Congress, and none of those cunts make any money, and they need the money of the rich people, so they go, hey, you want to fucking still be in office? Well, do you? You still want that side piece and your own private subway over to the fucking thing there under the Capitol? Well, then pass this goddamn bill. And they go, all right. That's why we have fucking income tax. That's why we have all of this fucking shit. That's why I love Donald Trump during that Republican debate. He actually, half the shit you cunts told me I should be walking around with tinfoil on my head. He fucking said it during the debate. He goes, you give a politician money, they'll do whatever you want. And he goes, I've given everybody money up here on this panel. And there was like 10 guys, and only one guy goes, you didn't give me any money. It was fucking hilarious. They'll do whatever you want. So they go, well, what'd you give to the Clintons for? What did they want? He goes, I wanted Hillary to go to my wedding. And you know what? The bitch showed up. She fucking showed up. So there you go. I don't know what the fuck that has to do with routers, but I feel vindicated. All you cunts forever was sitting there telling me that I got my fucking, my tinfoil hat on because I didn't think it made a bit of difference whether you voted in a fucking Republican or a Democrat, because, those fucking cunts got enough money to put money on both horses. So their shit's still getting pushed through, right? That's why when they go on the fucking debates, they don't talk about the population problem. They don't talk about genetically altered food. They don't talk about fucking anything. Running out of water, they know. All they talk about is fucking broads getting jobs and education and fucking,
and whatever the fuck we're doing over there and supporting the troops. You know what I mean? Hey, am I out of my fucking mind here? Didn't we defeat Germany and Japan in like 3.5, 4 years? It's like 4.5 years. Along with the Italians and whoever else was with the fucking Germans. Right? We got we got a world war. We got a fucking world war done. Collectively. When the fuck did it start? 39, 40? It was over by 45. 5 years, we got the shit over with. What are we doing now? We're over there with these fucking cunts. All they got is a jungle gym. 15 years into this shit. 14 fucking years into it. You know what it was with the World War II was we had no intentions of taking over the country and staying there. That's what it is. We have an occupation going on here. So what are you going to do? You're fucking there. You know, you're over there trying to build a Starbucks, you know, put up a Staples, you know. You're just going to be constantly engaging with the enemy over there. I don't know, man. Where the fuck do I get off talking about something that big? Hey, you know why? Because it's my podcast. What are you going to do about it? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to sit right there and you're going to fucking listen to it. I'm not. You shut it off. I don't give a shit. Anyway, so I finally have some good internet, and evidently, because I went from 0.30 megabytes per minute signal, now I have like 300 per minute. Now I could upload a podcast in 2 seconds, but I'm probably going to fucking die in like a year and a half from the fucking beam that's coming from the thing that floats over your house out there in space, right? The satellite. How come fucking Steve Jobs died of cancer? Pancreatic cancer. You know what that was from, right? All those years of having that laptop sitting on his stomach. He was trying to beat old Billy Gates, right? And there he is having us sign the fucking agreement. This might give you cancer. And he got killed by his own monster. It's like one of those Frankenstein movies, right? Fucking laptop picked him right up and threw him right in the lake. And old Stevie couldn't swim, could he? Nope. They had those gray New Balance just weighing him down, took him right down to the bottom of the lagoon. He died an angry man, from what I heard. Where'd you hear that, Bill? By some guy who didn't fucking know him. That's where I hear most of my shit. Anyways, so I have not boozed. Oh, God, I miss it. Oh, I miss it so. And somebody gave me the green light to booze, too. I was like, well, you know, I'm not an alcoholic, but I was definitely drinking like one. And this person was like, well, I came from a family of alcoholics. When you drink, does it get in the way of your life? Because your life, you're not able to function if you don't have it. And I was like, no. She goes, you're not an alcoholic. I was like, that was fucking great. Can you do that the next time I get fat? Can you tie your shoes? Yeah, well, you're not fat. Okay, just keep eating a banana split. Who the fuck orders a banana split past the age of like 6 or 7? Are you out of your fucking mind? Why don't you just stick a gun in your mouth, spin the barrel, and pull the trigger? Fucking banana split. You know what's funny about the banana split? That back in the day, that was like you ordered every flavor of ice cream. You know? Back in the day, there was vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. That was it. And you got it from the farmer down the street, and there was no fucking electromagnetic bullshit flying through your fucking head as you sat there. You walked in, right? And you were like, hey, Clem. Yeah, give me all of them. Give me a scoop of everything. I'm going to pay your fucking mortgage tonight by ordering 3 scoops of fucking... Pay your mortgage for the month by ordering 3 scoops of fucking ice cream. No, only one banana. Split in half. Stick it on both sides. Like a banana fucking ice cream sandwich. Oh, doesn't that sound delicious? I'm hallucinating that. I since July 5th, I haven't had any chips. I haven't had any fucking ice cream. No cookies. No cake. No fucking fast food. No nothing. And I'm in great shape. And you know what? I'm bored. I'm bored. I miss the highs of sugar. The lows of the salt coming back down. Right? We want to thank you for flying. We know you have a lot of choices out there, right? As you're fucking shoving the salt in after when you went through the stratosphere with the sugar. Getting too high like fucking Chuck Yeager. What do you do then, huh? You open up a fucking bag of Jacks. You stick that orange shit right down your fucking throat, don't you? Coming in for a landing. People, please refrain from standing up. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about either. Don't feel lost. All right? So anyways, I had my weigh-in today. All right, and I needed to be 174, and I weighed in at 173.6. Old Freckles is fucking killing it. I have lost 13 pounds on the nose. Dan Marino, number 13. Ken Linsman, number 13. I don't know who else was number 13. Whatever, there's 2 people. 13 fucking pounds. 13 pounds. And I'm actually, finally, people are starting to go, hey, you're losing weight? That's how fucking fat I was. I had to lose 13 pounds just to kind of be out of shape. You know? My man titties are going away. You know? I got a little belly. You know what I mean? Like, you ever have like a fucking, you ever see a raccoon, not a raccoon, a squirrel? Goes out and eats a whole pumpkin, then sits there with its fucking belly all distended. That's what I look right now. I look like a fucking squirrel that ate a pumpkin. And you're like, Bill, why did you come up with that? Because I saw it. I fucking saw a squirrel after it did it, and it was fucking sitting there with a big distended, like a trucker belly. But it was adorable. That's the kind of stomach I have right now. So anyways, Jesus Christ, I got what I got to do. I got another, what was my goal? 162? I'm going down low this time. I'm getting fucking skinny, and then I'm building back up with the muscle, right? Then I'm coming back on the booze, and I figure by the end of the year I can be over 2 bills. That's good for your heart. Whatever. I'm psyched to be back down to this goddamn weight. I feel bad. I am in, remember I was telling you guys like the different shape? There's, with a jacket on in shape, right? Jacket off in shape, button down shirt shape, button down tucked in shape. Did I say sport coat in there? Somewhere there's a sport coat. After the jacket, there's a sport coat. Then there's a button down shape. Then there's t-shirt untucked shape. That's where I'm at. Then there's tucked in t-shirt. Then there's no t-shirt. And then the granddaddy of them all, sitting down, no shirt on, still have a flat stomach. The only thing you have is those little fucking wrinkles because, you know, if you actually reach up to get some cereal, you don't want the skin to tear. You need it for when you reach. Anyways. Any fucking ways. All right, so what should I talk about next? Oh, rest in peace, Frank Gifford, man. I'm actually really sad about that. I'm not even going to lie to you, man. That guy was... he was the fucking man. He had such a great voice. I mean, he was part of basically... You can't say he replaced Keith Jackson. He replaced him on Monday Night Football. And Keith Jackson, Dandy Don Meredith, and Howard Cosell. There's never been a better announcing team, at least in football, as far as I'm concerned. And I just remember being, as a little kid, when my dad would actually let me stay up and watch at least the first quarter. Came on at 9 o'clock at night, so I'd get to stay up to like 9:30, 9:40. When they would start that show, and Howard Cosell would be doing the highlights. That's where I got that thing when I was still doing the DraftKings thing, because of that man right there, Original James Simpson, right? And he'd get you all fucking amped up for the fucking game, and then they'd immediately come back with Frank Gifford, who just had the best fucking voice ever. And then Dandy Don would sing a song. It was the best, man. It was the best. They always seemed like they went out and got some drinks afterwards. It's just, well, who's kidding who? The kind of men that hipsters have been making fun of relentlessly and nerds have made fun of for whatever. Just basically the guy's guy. For whatever reason, the guy's guy is, I don't know. I guess because most writers are nerds, so they resent the guy's guy because when they walk into the room, they've never held court, I guess. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying I'm a guy's guy, but I would fucking love to hang out with those guys, and I would shut the fuck up when they told stories. You know? I don't know. It just seems like every fucking commercial now is if there's a guy in it, right? If he's not being a complete moron with some woman rolling her fucking eyes, it's always like some guy out in the woods, and he's like fucking, got a bear in a headlock and chopping down a tree with his foot. Just this overly ridiculously manly shit. It's annoying to me. That's something to aspire to be an outdoorsman. You know, be out there in the woods, see something big and furry and fucking take it out. You know, like that dentist did when he went over to Africa. I mean, say what you will. It takes a lot of balls to smuggle a fucking lion's head out of Africa, doesn't it? as a dentist? The fuck do you get off doing some CIA shit like that? You just got done doing a fucking composite on Friday. On Monday, you're coming back with a lion's head? It's incredible. I don't condone it. I'm a big fan of fucking animals, which is why, at the end of the day, with all these electromagnetic fields taking a bunch of people out in the future, that really doesn't bug me. It doesn't bug me. It's time for us to go. Or at least, thin the herd, right? Maybe these corporations are doing a good thing. They're making a corporation raid. Kills bugs dead. Maybe a bunch of, oh my God, can you imagine the fucking nerds that are going to be dropping? The full amount of fucking nerds that are going to die, and then Jesus Christ. Then what are we going to do? Go back to the fucking Stone Age. You need nerds, just like you need the guy's guy. Right? You got to have somebody out there doing extra manly shit. You know what kills me is the amount of people that are making fun of Frank Gifford. He had one fucking affair. Even if he had more than that, fuck you. You walk a day in his fucking cleats, being the star fucking halfback. The New York Giants. You played in the greatest game ever played against the fucking Colts. You won a championship. You played for USC. Your high school football stadium in Bakersfield, California is named after you. Let's see you handle that fucking, those beautiful women throwing themselves at you. Kathy Lee's giving you shit about where you're putting your shoes and all of that. And then you go out and there she is, batting her fucking eyes at you. You walk a day in those you fucking don't do anything. Then you can judge Frank. Until then, you shut your fucking ringless championship fingers. Championship ringless fingers. I think that's how I'm supposed to say it. Anyways, yeah, so that's it. They're all gone. Keith Jackson is the last one, and this is all making me feel very, very fucking old. This whole changing of the guard, man. All of these guys, Vin Scully, Keith Jackson, Frank Gifford, Howard Cosell, all these guys, as these new guys, these snarky fucking cunts who come in and sit there taking the piss out of the fucking athletes. That ESPN thing, which was kind of funny at first when they made the highlights kind of funny, but I don't like it now. You're a nerd. That's why you're behind a desk. That guy's an athlete, and he's better than you. And you want his life. Quit taking pot shots at him when he's not around. And I can say that because I never take pot shots on athletes on this podcast. Yes, I do. I've done it all the fucking time. I'm a fucking hypocrite. What do you want from me? Well, Bill, we'd like a quality podcast every once in a while. Oh, will you stop with the hurtful shit? All right, what am I doing here? Let's read some advertising here. See how long these people last. All right. Well, we got a new advertiser this week. Well, God knows some slots have opened up. All right. There, we did it. We got through it. It's over. So anyways, you know what I finally fucking gave in to? Jimmy Page, for the 50th time since John Bonham has died, has figured out a new way to repackage the same fucking 10, 11 albums that they made. And I bought all of them every fucking time. And this time I was like, you know what? Fuck you, Jimmy Page. I'm done. I'm done with you coming up with the same bag of fucking goods and you just putting a different fucking wrapper on it. And then, with some never before seen photos and all of that shit. So I ignored the first one. I ignored the second one. And now the final one came out. Led Zeppelin Presence, Led Zeppelin In Through the Outdoor, and Led Zeppelin Coda. And I guess the Coda one has been getting some rave reviews. So I finally said, fuck it. And I went down and I bought all three of them. But I didn't buy the box thing that came with a booklet with some never seen before photos, but 99% of them you've already fucking seen, And I haven't had to listen to it yet, but I went down and I bought those. I didn't get the whole big fucking thing with the CDs and all of that goddamn horseshit. And Jimmy promises this is the last time that he's going to repackage this shit. And I did pretty good this time. I only bought like one issue of it. And one of them they were going like with the very, the that hey, what can you do? Like it's still obscure. It's like you can listen to that whenever you want on the internet. And it's also, you fucking released that on some box set I remember in the 90s. The one that had the fucking shadow of the Zeppelin over the cornfields, right? Isn't that what happened? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I've been playing drums like a fucking maniac, and I've been taking lessons trying to work on my technique, and it turns out I was doing everything wrong. So literally today I'm learning how to hit a fucking snare drum. Something I've done probably 100,000 times in my life, thinking I was doing it correctly. And anybody who plays drums, if you ever get a chance to just break down everything that you do, it's fucking amazing. This teacher I have, and he was showing me all this stuff where just even like where I was hitting the shaft of the stick on the hi-hat, I was hitting it where it was starting to taper, so it was getting more of a tinny sound, and he had me move it up. That was night and day. The molar method of just my arm totally fucking relaxed, getting a better sound. And then today, he was showing me something, and I was playing something on the bell of the cymbal, and because of the way I was holding the stick, like whenever I hit the bell, you could hear the bell, but it never sounded good. But now because I wasn't choking the shit out of the stick, like the stick has a different sound, and so it makes a different noise. It makes a more like, it's like a brighter. It was like I was choking on the stick, which was choking off the sound of the cymbal, all the drums and all of that type of thing, and I would get fucking blisters and shit. And I always thought, I haven't played in a while, so I got blisters. It's like, no, you dope, you're holding your fucking stick wrong. So I don't know. So I'm going to just do that like 15 times a day. It'd be like if you drove a car for 20 fucking years and all of a sudden somebody showed you a different way to drive a car. And if you want, but as you got behind the wheel, it'd be totally uncomfortable and you couldn't drive it as well as you could. And the temptation to just go back to the other fucking way is the biggest battle out of all of it. But I am going to I'm going to stick with it. And as I do with shit, you know, I try to stick with shit once I start to learn. Speaking of that, man, I think all my shit's going to come this week for me for the big green egg, and I'm finally going to try and smoke something, fuck it up, and then fix it. So I'm going to get the smallest pork shoulder. Maybe I'll just get some ribs, and I'll try smoking those fucking things. Just see if I can actually get if I'm able to keep it at a certain temperature. I still don't get how you fucking do it. I've watched all these goddamn YouTube videos. I actually was on PBS today watching a barbecue show. By the way, PBS, unbelievably underrated. PBS, it's like you watch something and then they show upcoming programs. It's like, I want to watch all of that. That all seems cool. So, anyways, but you know something? I'm all over the fucking map today. Speaking of Frank Gifford, which I was like 20 goddamn minutes ago, football season. How far away is it? Now it starts in the second week of September. Is that what the fuck it is? I have no idea. All I know is Tom Brady comes back in the fifth week, nice and rested, nice and pissed off. So I'm fucking excited about that. I know college football starts, I think, like the first week, maybe, of September. I was sitting there fucking looking for something to watch today. I watched a couple seconds of the WNBA, and I was like, all right, let me find a baseball game, which I couldn't find because I don't have the MLB package. So there was no game on when I turned it on. So then I watched a whole thing on that 13-year-old girl that pitched the Little League World Series. Watched something on her. Then I went back to the WNBA. And there's just, next thing you know, I'm watching like a fucking How to Smoke Meat on PBS. Because there's absolutely nothing going on. Maybe that's why they're doing all this Tom Brady shit. It's just like completely fucking a slow news day. Nobody knows what like, what do you do? Fucking, I am like, the amount of, maybe that's why I'm doing all this shit, learning how to play drums, taking the fucking auto rotation class, all of that shit. I'm getting those things down, everybody, the 180 autos. Getting it down. I know, you guys don't give a fuck about any of this. Let me, here's something for you. I bought those fucking Zeppelin things on vinyl, and I want to tell you guys that the reason why I buy vinyl is because I just think it looks cool. It's nice. You can actually see what the album cover looks like. You can hold it in your hand, you know. It doesn't, all of a sudden have a little cloud next to it and then I got to buy it again or something crashes. I like that. But I'm going to be the first to tell you, I cannot tell the difference, even remotely, between vinyl, a cassette tape, a CD, or fucking digital. I have no idea what little Steven is talking about and all these fucking rock stars that are saying it. I am not going to be that guy that goes, it sounds better. Huh? Can you hear that? Can you hear that bass drum pedal? That sounds the exact fucking same to me. Same thing with all those reissued guitars. This is a reissued 1959 Les Paul. Here's a real one. You hear the difference? No, sir. Not at all. That's probably because I have shitty ears. But you know what? There's a bliss in that. That's how I can drive a Prius. I drove a goddamn 2008 Prius in traffic right next to a fucking Lamborghini today. I did it. Where the fuck's he going? Dude, if you drive a Lamborghini down the street, you are a fucking jerk off. The only time that car should be on the street is if it's driving up to a ramp to be loaded onto a truck to then be taken to the track. What kind of a fucking asshole? I guess you drive around and just women fucking drop their panties. I guess that's why you do it. But then, by all means, don't date. Don't date some woman that just runs up to your Lamborghini. You can't fucking date that. You can't. What you got to do is you got to drive around like a fucking Ford Escort station wagon, right? And then start hitting on women. Well, I mean, that's too much. That's too much of a test. What kind of fucking woman wants that? They're allowed to have standards. Oh, are we, Bill? Thank you. Yeah. I'd say drive around in a fucking... a late model, maybe a Nissan Leaf. Just drive around. Yeah, that'd be a fucking interesting, fucking prank show. If you had a guy, he pulls up in a Nissan Leaf and he fucking hits on some chick, right? And she tells him to fuck off and he drives away whoosh, in his fucking electric car. And he drives around the corner, he puts on a fake mustache and a hat. And now he's in a Lamborghini just to see her different fucking attitude. But is that really fair? That's not fair, is it? Why wouldn't a woman want to talk to a guy in a Lamborghini? What is she supposed to do? What woman lays in bed going, someday I'm going to meet my Prince Charming and he's going to pull up in a Nissan Leaf. They don't think that, do they? I don't know what they think. Why would I talk for them? Do you think Caitlyn knows what they think now? Or Bruce now knows because now he's Caitlyn? You ever think about that? Do you think Caitlyn looks in the mirror every once in a while and talks to Bruce? I can't imagine what that must be like. You know what I mean? Because if you wanted to do that, right, now you've freed yourself. But then, you know what I mean? Don't you miss the other person a little bit? Then you have all his fucking memories. You're like fucking RoboCop. You start having like flashbacks and shit. I don't know. I don't fucking know. All I know is I wish Bruce gave a farewell. That would have been awesome. You know what I mean? I had a great time being Bruce. Sold a lot of Wheaties, didn't we? Won that decathlon. I was on chips, right? I had a great time with all you guys, and I want to thank all of you for being there for me. This is it. This is a living wake for fucking Bruce Jenner. And then he just walks off. You get to give him one more standing ovation. I think that's what fucks me up. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Which happens when somebody fucking dies, but he didn't die. He just became Caitlyn. I got to meet her to see if I can just be like, Caitlyn, do you mind if I ask Bruce a question? Or can I ask a Bruce question? How do I phrase this without getting in trouble with you? Glancing down at her feet, See if you can fucking see all those years of running track and field down there, I think Caitlyn goes with a closed-toe shoe, wouldn't you? Probably his hammer toes. You can't do all those events without having fucked up feet, you know what I mean? I mean, Jesus Christ, if you danced in Wicked on a rake stage for fucking 5 seasons, your feet are going to be fucked up for life. That's a goddamn musical. This guy won a fucking decathlon. Jesus Christ. There's got to be some fucked up fucking... Who do you think's got the most fucked up feet? Basketball players, tennis players. Oh, by the way, I'm reading this Andre Agassi autobiography that somebody gave me, man. It's fucking unbelievable. Jesus Christ. I'm only like the first 60 pages. He had one of those dads that just decided that it's like, hey, guess what you're doing? You're going to be the number 1 tennis player in the world. And you're sitting there like, I just want to play with my Legos. And he's like, shut the fuck up. Get outside. I built you a tennis court. And then you go out there and you just do that every fucking day and you don't want to do it. It's unbelievable. What fucking kills me is he didn't want to do it and he still won Wimbledon. He still won the U.S. Open. Did he win the French? I'm not sure. Did he get the career Grand Slam? Oh, I think that's time to look it up. Let's put this Apple computer that might be fucking radiating my nuts right now. All right, hang on a second. I actually thought for half a second that if I did get it, at least I'd get a flat fucking stomach. How obsessed am I with this shit? All right, Andre Agassi crushed me when I found out I was fucking 2 years old. Oh, and look at that! Oh, the internet doesn't work in here. Isn't that fucking wonderful? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I give up with this shit. Do you know today I went to use the calculator on my phone and I don't know what button I hit. It just fucking kept doubling the number and I couldn't get it to stop. And I kept hitting clear. And I just set the fucking thing down. I went over, I got a fucking pencil and a pen, and a pad of paper. And I just worked it out the old fucking way. And you know what? My brain and my hand will never be obsolete. Until I die, right? Then who gives a fuck because I'm dead. You know? I don't have to upgrade it. I don't have to get the new one. Right? Isn't that weird? You ever think about that? Your hands. The same fucking hand that you've been jerking off with since you figured out how to do it. Isn't that unreal? You ever think about that? Your body. My fucking hand is 47 fucking years old. You think in the future you can just get like new shit? You know what I mean? Like on your car, how your starter goes after a while, and you got to get a new starter. And you're fine, because a car will last forever if you just keep replacing the parts. I think that's what they're working on doing, you know? But God knows that won't be available to us. If they ever figured out how to fucking do that, right, they keep it for themselves. This is where the conspiracy theory guy comes in. If they don't have it already. But they would keep that shit for themselves, all right? And they just keep fucking, unscrewing and then rescrewing a new fucking head on their body like a goddamn light bulb, you know? Then in the future, you can pick out different heads. Like, what do you want to look like? You know what I mean? You can just try out everything. You want to be looking like a schlub, but you could be like every fucking race, every hairstyle, you know? You just keep putting your brain in there and be like getting a new fucking car every couple of years. Who doesn't want to do that? Would you do it? Would you just ride it out? But anyways, I think that they're going to have it, right? Because they already can grow like a fucking ear in a petri dish, right? They could do that for years. Then all of a sudden they stop talking about it. They grow an ear in a fucking petri dish. And then all of a sudden there was no more talk about it. You know those fuckers didn't stop with, I bet they could do the whole head now. Think about it, man. Where did Dick Cheney go? He's got all those problems with his heart, right? Where the fuck did he go? I bet he's off somewhere getting a new fucking heart. Getting a new ticker, you know what I mean? Like a new crate motor. Came in the other day. Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? Then you just keep going. You know what it is the temptation to sell that to the masses. You know? All the fucking money that you can make. Because that's what the fuck they're into, right? They'd eventually have to do it, and then they would give us, we wouldn't get as good as fucking heads as they got. It'd be like whiskey. They'd be drinking like scotch, like top shelf fucking shit. And we would just get like, the Bud Light heads, Keystone Light, fucking heart or hands or some shit. And that would be like, that's going to be the goal in the future, to make enough money that you can actually, when you get your replacement head, you can actually get a good one, like a decent looking one, And you go out and you fucking get a deal or some shit. You come into some money, and your parents can be like, all right, now don't go out there and blow it all on a head. Save some for feet and hands in the future. But Mom, if I have a better head, I can get a better broad. Oh, you don't need to do that. You just save up money and you buy the broad you're with a better head. She loves you for who you are. Shut up, Mom. You think? Can you see that in the future? I can. Oh, I see a future where heads will be sold. Where do they get their heads? Well, they grew them. Then they'll have like bootleg heads. You have to get like you got to have like your own fucking head farm. You got to be like it's got to be like sanctioned by the government, regulated, and all that shit. In Tarzana today, a raid on a bootleg head farm, right? And they had a big fucking greenhouse with a bunch of heads in there. Everybody running out. Then Denzel plays the fucking greatest fucking bootleg head dealer ever. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Right? He's got a bunch of fucking heads behind him. Right? And everybody's like, well, that fucking movie's just like his other movie, just with heads. Oh, yeah? Well, you fucking write one. You cunt. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking. How many minutes is that? I'm just trying to fill time here. Who gives a shit? All right. By the way, everybody, if you'd like to donate to this podcast, here's an easy way to do it that won't cost you any fucking money. Next time you go into Amazon, just go to my website first, click on the podcast page, and then click on the Amazon link. Then you're on Amazon. No fucking big deal, right? And then they kick money back to me for driving traffic there. It doesn't cost you any money. 10% of the money I kick back to St. Jude. In fact, I owe those fuckers a check this week. I actually, when I buy shit on Amazon, I go through my website. What a cheap prick, huh? I'm becoming that old guy, that old penny pincher. Anyway, so if you would like to send an email into this podcast, it's bill@themmpodcast.com. All right? bill@themmpodcast.com. That's where you send the shit. Poster information. If listeners who ordered a Southern Tour poster have not received it yet, they should email billburrmerch@gmail.com. Include the name, address, order number. Boston Tour posters will arrive within the next 10 to 14 days if they haven't already. All right? I know we're kind of slow with the posters, but everybody else was like, hey, we'll send out your posters and we're going to take 90% of the profit. So I kind of doing it in-house here. So, cut me some fucking slack, all right? And if you really can't wait, I'll refund you goddamn money, all right? Relax. It's just a fucking poster. Oh, by the way, I have a big announcement. I'm pregnant. No. That I'm making today. As of Monday, August 10th at 9 p.m. tonight. 9 p.m. tonight. Tickets go on sale. I'm doing Madison Square Garden, if you can believe it. Oh, Billy fucking Red Cakes is playing Madison Square Garden on Saturday, November 14th. I'll tweet out all this shit. I don't have the information right now. They're going to send it to me tomorrow morning, which is your morning right now. So I've already tweeted it out. And the pre-sale is going to be tomorrow starting at 9 p.m. East Coast time. And the pre-sale code is, all you do is you type in Larry Legend 33. One more time for all you Knick fans out there. Larry Legend 33. I'm playing Madison Square Garden, and they asked me if I wanted to name the show. And I was like, of course. And there's only one thing I could name it. Come on. I'm doing stand-up and Madison Square Garden. Led Zeppelin shot The Song Remains the Same in that building, what do I name my special? Come on, think. Does anybody remember Laughter? Do you remember that when Robert Plant said that? He gets so much shit for saying that. He said that during the Stairway to Heaven, right? He's like, and the forest will echo with laughter. Does anybody remember Laughter? And everybody shit on him because it was very topical. They shot that in like 73 or 74, so the Vietnam War was winding down. In the last 10 years, anybody with a vision was shot and killed by a lone crazed gunman. Both Kennedys, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, all these fucking great people got whacked. And Watergate was going on. The fucking gas prices were going up through the fucking roof. Or petrol, as the fucking English people say. And that was a legitimate question in 1973. Does anybody remember Laughter? But then, the 80s came and everybody's on coke. They're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? I'm laughing all the way to the bank. Bud Fox, greed is good. So that's the name of the show. Does anybody remember Laughter? And I like it because Led Zeppelin fans will get it. And I also like it because people who drive by, it'll look like the most arrogant thing ever, like I'm saying I'm the greatest comedian ever. And none of these other comics are making you laugh. So that's happening. So I'm doing that, and I already know what I'm going to do. If they let me, I'm going to rent a drum kit and I'm going to bring it into that building. And during the day when it's completely empty, I'm going to fucking plug in my fucking iPhone and I'm going to play to all my fucking Zeppelin shit, Motley Crue, all that shit that I came up with. And then before the show starts, I'm removing the drum kit because I would never make you sit through that. During the day, I'm going to have a good fucking time. Me and Paul Verzi are going to be doing it. I might add somebody else. I'm not sure yet. But as of right now, it's me and Paul Verzi. And Paul's fucking hilarious. He was all excited about, because he's the biggest Knicks fan ever. And he said to me, he goes, dude, you know what's funny? He goes, I already know what my opening joke's going to be. He knows it in August. That's how much of a fuck. I'm going to say, somehow it has to be about the Knicks is what I'm guessing. So anyways, let's get into the questions here. And by the way, it's an unbelievable, I can't believe I'm going to get to do that. And I want to thank everybody who's come out to my shows over the years and spread the word about my shit. So I get to do that fucking thing. So that's a major, it's not even a bucket list thing. That's not something I ever even thought of ever doing. There's a couple that I want to do, that I really want to do. I want to do Royal Albert Hall at some point in England. I got to do that one because that's another place that Zeppelin played. Although that place really seems like a tight-ass place and would not let me bring a set of drums in during the day. But you never know. They might. Who knows? Anyways. All right. Frank Gifford, everybody. This is the first question. Bill, I'm not sure if you're going to talk about Frank Gifford's passing. Do you have a favorite Monday Night Football involving Gifford? Yes, every one that he ever did. And, of course, the person talks about, all the women that he banged and shit, which is really a nerd thing to do. Don't pick on him. What are you going to do? He fucked a couple of stewardesses. Who gives a shit? So what are you? He had all these other great accomplishments. The fucking guy down at Home Depot can't keep his dick in his pants. Frank Gifford's supposed to be a saint. The guy lived in almost every decade. I think he did a pretty good fucking job. And God can't get mad at him if there's a God. God should just be throwing his hands up. Well, that's what I get for making a guy that good. This fucking great hair, being the halfback, playing in New York, Heisman Trophy winner. Jesus Christ. That's what I made Beautiful Women for guys like this to go out and fuck. And the God in my head, that's how he talks. He doesn't get mad. Do you think he really gets mad? Like when a Hitler comes on, he doesn't look at himself like, ooh, fucked up on that one. I must have made that one on Sunday when I was half asleep. All right, National Book Day, everybody. actually, getting back to that Frank Gifford thing, like, those guys were just Frank Gifford, Don Meredith, and Howard Cosell. Those guys were absolute gods to me. Bryant Gumbel, Bob Costas, Al Michaels, Keith Jackson. You know, just all those guys. I love Bryant Gumbel and Mike Adamle when they used to do NFL 81, NFL 80, and all that shit. They were fucking amazing. I just grew up on all of those guys. And sports, I don't know, it was just different back then. Sports was this small fucking thing of just sports fans. You know what I mean? Like the Beatles didn't play halftime at the fucking Super Bowl. They just had a high school goddamn band went out there. You know? The first two Super Bowls, they weren't even called Super Bowls. They were just called the NFL-AFL championship game. And do you know neither one of them sold out? It's fucking unreal. Like, that's how small it was. I used to watch the local news every fucking night. I used to watch WBZ, the WBZ channel, which was the NBC affiliate. It had Jack Williams, who just retired. There's Liz Walker, Bob Lobel. And Bob Lobel would do sports. It was like 6-7 minutes. That was it. He had to go around the whole fucking league. And then if you really wanted to see baseball highlights from around the league, you would watch This Week in Baseball. Or football, you'd watch Inside the NFL on HBO. When that came out, that was fucking unreal. Because all the other thing else you had to do, you had to wait for NFL Films to come up with something. So it's totally changed. So those guys were bigger than life. Who is the guy who used to be on ABC's Wide World of Sports? God damn it. I was into everything. Jackie Stewart, when he would do the Formula One racing, he had that Scottish accent I thought was so fucking cool. Vin Scully, of course. And then you had all the local guys. And back then you had all those homers. I hate sports fans that can't stand homer announcers. There's nothing better than a fucking homer announcer. It's the greatest. Do you know there was a guy who used to do the Bruins in between periods, and he grew a beard, and he wasn't going to shave it off until we won the cup. This guy had a fucking beard my whole goddamn life. And I remember when they won it in 2011, I went on the internet, tried to find the guy to see if he finally fucking shaved it off. These guys, you guys who are young, you'll see it someday. The people that you loved when you were a kid, when they get old and they pass away, that kid in you, it fucking makes you really sad. But then also, there's also that thing like, fuck, man, a couple more generations and then it's my turn. Whatever. What the fuck? I'm having a great life. Even if I died tomorrow, I had a great one. I did. All right. National Book Day. Dear Billy Shakespeare. Of course, I used that one today. Sunday is a National Book Day. You haven't updated us on what you're reading in quite some time. Any recommendations? Yes, I'm reading the Andre Agassi biography, which I think is called Open. And it's tremendous. And the reason why I also haven't been updating you on anything that I've been reading is because I don't read that much. I tell you, my wife bought that... She bought that Kim Kardashian book of nothing but selfies. Like, she's really into, like, pop culture. Oh, we had that argument about it. I'm still seeing that book over by the phone, and I always have to turn it over. I always have to turn the fucking thing over. I just can't. There's just... You ever just walk by and you watch some girl, like, or some, doing that where they hold the camera up and they're trying to adjust their fucking heads, to try to look better looking, or this angle right here is the way I look the best. Somebody should make a fucking. There's got to be a thread of just videos of people fucking doing that shit. Does there, Bill? Does there have to be something like that? Do you have to be such a crabby old cunt? Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. I'm reading the Andre Agassi Open. That's what I'm reading, and it's tremendous. And I like reading autobiographies by people that did great things, which is such a stupid thing to say because, they just have some regular guy. That would be an interesting autobiography if you just never fucking strived for anything. You just did the bare fucking minimum. You lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. You always had like a 6 of fucking Miller High Life. Some deviled eggs in there. That was it. You sat there and you listened to baseball games on the radio and you just stared out the fucking window. You know, there is something to be said about that. You're not hurting anybody. You know? Anyways, you know what? I got to find out the name. You know, that time a long time ago when me and Bobby Kelly and Joe DeRosa made that short film Cheat. We were in the Tribeca Film Festival and we did and we were with this whole series of short films. And this kid, I got to find out the name of this. He made this great short film. I'll find it out from DeRosa. And I always say that I'm going to find out, and then I never do, but I'm going to this time. He made this great short film about he had an uncle or his grandfather or something, and he just didn't know anything about him, and he lived a life like that. And when he died, he found the guy's diary. He kept a diary, sort of, and he was able to piece together this guy's fucking life. And it was funny because he was like, he didn't know the guy, but it was a really funny, I want to say touching, but I don't want you guys to trash me, but it was. It moved you. But it was really funny. And I forget, what the fuck was the guy's line? His last words on his deathbed were that, he said, "That's it." And I remember saying to DeRosa, after we saw the film, I go, "What do you think he meant by that?" And Joe said, "I don't know, but I would give my left arm to know what he meant." Like, who says that's it? Like, you know you're going to die. Like, what did he feel that he knew he was going to die in that moment? I fucking primed the pump here. I got to get the name of that fucking thing. Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stand my wallet up here on the table. When I look at that, I'll be like, why did I stand it up there? And then I'll fucking remember. Because if I don't. You ever do shit like that? I do. I don't give a fuck if you don't. All right, Trump. Dear Billy-elect, I don't agree with everything Trump says, but I wholeheartedly believe that he's the only person that can set this country on a course of honesty. I'd rather know what a guy is actually thinking and disagree than to not know what he's thinking and to have faith. What are your thoughts? Says Phone Store Girl. Oh, no, sorry, that's the next one. I 100% agree. That's why even though he said all that stupid shit about Mexicans, to just, having a white, like, the thing about that guy, the shit he says about Mexicans and stuff, like, is fucked up as it is. It's like, that's what a white guy who's lived on the top floor of a skyscraper, that's the kind of shit, that's the way they think. I went there, I've been to the border. Oh, yeah, did you fucking drive by in your air-conditioned SUV for fucking 20 minutes? You know what you're talking about. I'm not trashing the guy. Like, dude, that fucking shit he said about the bankers again, I felt vindicated when he was going, like, when they were giving him shit for declaring bankruptcy. And he goes, I've done hundreds and hundreds of deals. 4 times. 4 times I've taken advantage of the bankruptcy laws. By the way, they are laws, so he's not doing anything illegal. And he goes, and by the way, let's not make out these people that loan me money to be these innocent little daisies or whatever. He goes, they're not exactly innocent. He goes, these guys are killers. And he's 100% right. 100% fucking right. Having said all that, I mean, that money was also put in to the banks by mom and pop people, but it was printed out by the bankers. And it's really not our money. It's their money, and they give it to you, and your job's to get into as much debt as humanly possible without going under and paying those cunts for the rest of your fucking life. They are killers. But having said that, there's no way any one person could get this country in order. Because what would happen is if he got elected, he would threaten everybody else who got in the other way, and no one would work with him in a childish way, and then they would blame him, and then the guys who put the money behind all the politicians also own newspapers, and everyone would just smear Donald Trump, and then every fucking moron who thinks they know shit about politics would be like, see, it doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. And it'll go right back to the way that they want it. To truly change any government, to truly fucking change when it's as corrupt as we are in most of the other governments, I'm not just shitting on my country, but as corrupt as we are, the only way to do it is you have to have literally a revolution and people are going to die. and people are going to go on trial, and there's going to be fucking firing squads and all that type of shit. You know, you don't just go like, hey, we've had enough, and then the people in power go, oh, okay. All right, here's the keys to the castle. Let's see how you do. Can I have a job? It doesn't go down like that. So, but I will say, that guy, Donald Trump is a fucking star. But I also liked, there was a couple other guys on the panel I liked. I liked Rand Paul, and then I liked the older fella there. What the fuck's his name? I can't remember. But that guy from Jersey is a fucking dope. He's just smart enough to seem smart, but at the end of the day, his big fucking roast beef head, he's a fucking dope. That guy should not go beyond the state level, but he will. He will. All right, phone store girl. All right. Billy boy, last week my girlfriend lent her cell phone. Oh, what, to you? Last week my girl lent her cell phone because mine shit the bed. You missed a word in there. Lent me her cell phone. Okay. I borrowed a phone on the way to get... Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Here we go. I borrowed her phone on the way to get my new phone because I had some work calls to make. As I left the house, I thought it was strange because it felt like... it felt like we would be breaking up soon. I get to the place, and a young, cute chick is working there. I end up getting paired with her over the other miserable-looking losers working there. Wow, I thought this was going to go another direction. I thought you were going to say you went there, and then she got some fucked up text. All right, here we go. At one point, I had to hand her my girlfriend's phone because I had taken a picture of a number I needed to activate my new phone. When the girl slid the picture over by accident, yup, you guessed it, a picture of my girlfriend topless. The girl swiped back immediately, and I just stood there. I actually didn't even really react much, just kind of took it all in. She looked at me and goes, good for you. Oh, Jesus, this girl's a gamer. That broke the ice. This girl was very cool. Yeah, you think? We joked around before and after this incident. All right, this is what you need to do. Break up with this other girl immediately, because you already said you feel like you're going to break up and you don't seem upset by it, which means you don't like this girl. You don't love her, I should say, or maybe you love her but not that way. Dump her and get with this girl, all right? And see where this fucking goes, and hold back your heart, though, for a minute. This girl might be a fucking killer, too. She might be a stud on the other side of the fence, and she's going to fucking break your heart. So just... see where it goes. I'm already saying that before I get to the end of this. Anyways, he goes, I get in the car and I realize I haven't seen the picture of my girlfriend. She never sent it to me. Perhaps she didn't like it, or perhaps it was for someone else. What the fuck just happened? Wait a minute. You guessed it, a picture of my girlfriend topless. The girl swiped back immediately and I just stood there. Took it all in. She said, good for you. That broke the ice. We kind of joked around before and after the sentence. I get in the car and I realized I haven't seen the picture of my girlfriend. She never sent it to me. Oh, because it was on her phone. Oh, wait. She sent it to somebody else. Dude, this is like a great movie. Perhaps she didn't.